Hello everyone, now you will hear a short retelling of the film South Central. Enjoy watching. South Central, early 80s. A young criminal and a member of the Gang of Two, Bobby Johnson, was released from a juvenile colony. Finally, he sprayed the police officer with beer. While Bobby was in prison, the girl managed to give birth to his son, but he doesn't even know his name. Carol never visited him. Well, then, he would look in on her right now. However, the extinct girl was breaking into the apartment of a certain Ginny Lamp, a visiting dealer whose goods poison the local population. Ray doesn't like that a gangster works on their territory and he is ready to defend it by force. Ray advises Bobby to keep an eye on his woman. Apparently, Lamp has already hooked her on something heavy. At home, Bobby saw Jimmy, his son, for the first time, but he is more interested in finding out what Carol forgot at this scumbag. According to the girl, he threw her some money, but she herself, of course, did not give anything in return. The girl reproaches Bobby for putting her completely alone without money and support, so he has no right to accuse her of anything. The young father dotes on his son, perhaps now the life of their family will change for the better. The twos have gathered in the attic and are discussing the expansion of their gang. Ray is going to take control of the whole of Los Angeles, but you need to start with your neighborhood. Everyone should mark a landmark place in the city with their graffiti so that others understand whose territory it is. Now there are hundreds in their organization, and there will be thousands. They should also push the goods, but not use and not allow strangers to trade in their area. If necessary, they will kill their competitors. The main deuces with their ladies filled up the Clamp Club. Bobby even took the baby with him. Lamp did not arrange a showdown and invited competitors to sit down at the table. The bandits had a great time. Ray sent the girls home, now they need to get busy. He also asks Bobby not to relax. Of course, he has a child, but he is first of all a deuce. When Bobby and the baby returned home, Lamp blocked his way and demanded that the guy follow him. In the apartment, he pumped Bobby with his goods. He had never tried anything like this. He felt uncomfortable. Lamp threatens him and his gang. If they don't want to live peacefully, then many will die. Bobby didn't get home until early in the morning. Carol was lying on the bed in losses. Lampa was constantly pumping her up with something. At night, the twos decided to make an armed raid on the club. The bear uses a potato as a silencer. One deuce and Lamp's bodyguard were immediately killed. The dealer himself was captured. Ray planted a root vegetable on a gun and allowed Bobby to take revenge on him for spoiling his woman. Lamp begged not to kill him, but Bobby is relentless. The bandits left their marks so that everyone would know whose handiwork it was. Bobby has become a wethead and now he will receive a special mark, a fly under his eye. There was a tattoo stuffed right there. Bobby can't get over it. Carol saw the little black heart and immediately understood everything. "We need to get out of here," Bobby said. A young family has been lying low and has been living in a new house for several months. Carol is nagging and demanding to change something. While they're sour here, Ray gets richer. They are also entitled to this money. Carol spat on everything and left the house. Immediately, someone started honking. These are two-piece friends bragging about their new cool car. They persuade Bobby to give up on the cops and ride with them. After hesitating, the killer agreed to take a ride around the area. The friends immediately took off the lady and hoped not to have fun, but the girl turned out to be an undercover policeman. She arrested all three for burying and molesting women. The detective pointed to Bobby's front sight. He knows perfectly well what that means. The policeman demands to tell about the second leader of the Ray gang, and also about a certain Ginny Lamp. Bobby claims that he has not heard of such a thing. Then the detective showed him a leaky potato that was found at the crime scene. There was a gun found, covered in Bobby's fingerprints. The guy asked to see his son. The detective states that Bobby will be given 10 years and he will not hear his son's first words and will not see the boy go to school. But if Bobby cooperates and names names, then he will get a shorter sentence. 10 years have passed. Bobby didn't make a deal. Little Jimmy has grown up and has already become a thief, and in the future he and his friends plan to join a gang of twos. Ray and the bear got up. They wear a stylish outfit and constantly changing cars. Ray took the boy aside and suggested that he do something, steal radios and tape recorders from cars. He immediately inspired the kid by giving him 320s. Bobby has gotten dirty and stoned over the years in prison. One of the twos, Loco, is pinched by the dudes from the White Brotherhood. He owes them 8 blocks of cigarettes. Bobby stood up for his black bro. The Aryans put forward conditions. If the twos take the debt of a junkie on themselves, they will have to give 15 blocks. Loco complains that Ray threw him out of the neighborhood, and he was in the gang from the very beginning. He doesn't protect anyone in the area, he just makes money for himself. Meanwhile, Jimmy started hacking cars and stealing radios. The thief is immediately given his share. Loco continues to tell Bobby about the ringleader, that he forces boys to work for him and steal the stereo. Ray even uses his son, little Jimmy. The kid looked out the window as a married couple was going to have fun. He intends to take advantage of the situation and turn on the radio, but as always, the alarm went off and the man immediately grabbed his gun. He took aim and hit Jimmy right in the back. The boy was taken away by an ambulance. Willie Manchester was taken to the police station. The kid is in serious condition. Bobby was disappointed in the twos. Because of Ray, his son was shot, so he decided to leave the gang. Loco trailed after the brothers, because you can't survive here alone. Jimmy's whole back is riddled with shot holes. He is very weak and sleeps most of the time. Carol came to the hospital and was rude to the nurse. Since he sleeps all the time, then she will go on business. Why would she just stare at him? He'll end up in jail, just like his dad and his grandfather. Jimmy heard it all. The leader of the twos in prison persuaded the Aryans to attack Bobby, but the experienced convict attacked first and beat the Nazi. Bobby was put in jail alone. Shelly's sister suggested Jimmy to play ping pong, but he is not going to play ball for White, he prefers billiards. However, a woman who cares about the boy much more than his own mother was able to captivate him with the game. Muslim Ali watched what was happening to Bobby in prison and bribed the guards to transfer him to his cell. Ali offers him a change. One day the Aryans pinned Bobby in the back room and said that from now on he was their property and they would do whatever they wanted with him. But Ali came in here with 2 of his comrades. He would not allow Bobby to be harmed. The blonde claims that the twos paid them instead of cigarettes. This convict now belongs to them. But Ali insists that Bobby is a man and no one will lower him in this prison. She is ready to give 15 blocks of cigarettes for it. They will also carry out small tasks of the Aryans for 3 months. So Ali saved Bobby and solved everything peacefully. Dr. King came to talk to Jimmy about child abuse. The boy says that his mother uses substances and never cooks food for him, and school is generally for suckers. Bobby confesses that he wants to kill Ray for using him and his son. But where was Bobby himself when his son was shot? Ali also had a son and he put too much pressure on him when he brought him up. The teenager couldn't stand it, ran away from home and got involved with bad people. Soon they killed him, and he took their 3 lives in exchange and received a life sentence for it. Alan leaves Bobby and asks him to break the circle of hatred so that his son does not grow up without a father. He owes him and will pay his debt to reading the right books for 2 hours every day. When Jimmy recovered, a policeman and a social worker came for him. Shelly's sister asks the boy to trust these people, they will help him start a new life. The guy returned to hug a woman who at least briefly replaced his real mother. From this day on, Jimmy will live in a juvenile colony. When the boys wanted to run over him, he immediately let them know that he was from the gang of 2. Ali continues to teach Bobby. He was denied early release 6 times because his words are empty, and his life position has remained the same. He must change. The Nazi put dirty shoes on the book, which Bobby has to clean according to the agreement. Bobby almost exploded, but restrained himself. A man is tattooed so that this stigma no longer reminds him of his sin. Ali says that Bobby will repay him for his help by getting someone else out of trouble. Finally, on the 7th attempt, Bobby was given early release. He got a second chance. Now he has to find his son and save his life. Leaving, Bobby gave his hat to Locke. The man returned home and found Carol sleeping on a chair, but even when she woke up, she did not really regain consciousness and could not tell where their son was. The house is littered with garbage and a mountain of letters. Finally, Bobby found out that he and Carol had been deprived of their parental rights. Bobby immediately came to the colony, but there he was told that he would be able to see his son only after receiving a bunch of permits. Bobby is desperate. As a result, they took pity on him and allowed him to see Jimmy. The boy was suspicious of the stranger. Emboldened, he asked when his father would get him out of here. As soon as he comes out, he will immediately fill up William Manchester, the man who stuffed him with shot. The boy's entire back is covered with scars. Bobby apologized for not being around, and the kid is disappointed that his father brought a black heart under his eye. He left his gangster past behind. The son should do the same. But he replied that in that case Bobby was not his father and left. In the evening, when Carol's head cleared, she hugged Bobby and cried, but she still didn't want to talk about her son. In the morning, the man was woken up by the cops who were looking for Jimmy. He escaped from the colony at night. Bobby drives around the neighborhood in search of his son, but the local punks are only rude in response to a request to help him. The man found the smallest twos. They have heard a lot about the local legend and killer Bobby Johnson, so they were happy to help him. The boys told me that Jimmy was hiding in Ray Ray's warehouse. The doors were opened by a bear and he is aggressive. Ray Ray appeared right there. He's not happy that Bobby got a tattoo. Their organization already includes 50,000 bandits, and he is one of its founders. You can't just leave the family, especially since half of everything belongs to him. But Bobby doesn't need all this. Only his son, Jimmy, was sitting inside in a bandana and says he won't return to the colony anymore. This will also not be allowed by Ray Ray. The Deuces are now his parents. That's just because of the twos. Bobby got 10 years, and Jimmy got shot. Ray Ray offers the kid to choose between money, cars and fun and return to the juvenile. And he can also take revenge on Manchester right now. To keep Bobby out of the way, the bear knocked him out with 2 blows. Ray Ray led the man out, took off his bag and pointed to the kid he had wounded that fateful night. Now he's going to get a bullet in return. Ray Ray gave Jimmy the gun and he pointed it at Manchester. Then Bobby came up and asked his son to come to his senses. Ray Ray promises the boy a cool tattoo under his eye, especially since he does it for the bratva. Then Bobby attacked the bear, knocked him out and took the gun away. Ray Ray grabbed Jimmy's arm and pointed the gun at his father. Bobby closed Manchester with him and lowered the gun to the ground. He tells Jimmy that if he hits a man, his wound will heal. If he steals, he will be able to return what he stole. But if he kills a person, he will not be able to fix what he has done, neither for him nor for his family. There will be no turning back. Jimmy lowered the gun. Ray Ray, Bobby says he will save his son's life, even if he has to give his own. He wants to give him something that neither he nor Ray Ray, the father, had. After all, Ray Ray himself said that he owed him, and he only wants his boy. The criminal lowered his weapon and let Jimmy go. Bobby promises his son that he will return him through the court and threw off his bandana. Ray Ray allowed Manchester to escape as well. A new life will begin for father and son very soon.